Hey everyone, so today I want to talk to you about nailing your Ironman and a few tips to help you kind of do that. Now, nailing your Ironman kind of is one of those where it can be really hard to do and it takes patience and practice, and honestly, you will probably never really nail it. It's just one of those things that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. However, I do have a few tips for whether you're a newbie or someone who has done a couple of them, that these tips can help you to make that Ironman distance, whether out on, in all honesty, a 7.3 as well, a little bit easier. And so I've got 6 tips for you that I want to share with you today to kind of help guide you and along this journey. So we're going to start with the first one. And to me, this is the most important one. Respect the distance. Ironman or a 70.3 is long. It's hard and it's long. You cannot do one if you do not train. Cannot, should not, cannot. If you are not consistent with your training, you will get yourself injured. You'll make the day longer and harder than it already is, and you will hate it. You have to put the work in, and that means being consistent. This doesn't always mean that training has to be perfect, because it doesn't. Training is never perfect. It doesn't have to be. It just means that each day you have to respect the day and you have to do the training. You have to get in, whether you have a coach and get your green on Training Peaks, check in, do the work, put the work in, and respect the fact that you are doing something that your body is not used to, and it needs time and it needs effort and it needs focus in order to do that. So respect the distance. It can be really helpful to have a coach. If you are someone who doesn't have a coach, I definitely recommend it. That's because they will help you to stick to the plan. It is hard to stick to an Ironman plan. I mean, let's face it, we're training for 6, 9, sometimes 12 months for a full distance Ironman. And that's a lot. That takes a lot of mental fortitude, takes a lot of structure, takes a lot of planning, takes a lot of time. And a coach can help you to arrange it so that it's more manageable and help you to respect that distance and to help you to stay consistent. So that's my number one. You have to be consistent. You have to be prepared for the daily grind and being prepared that it's going to suck and it's going to get long. And there are some days that just you don't want to, but you know you have to. The best athletes out there are the ones that are consistent. The ones that get faster are the ones that are consistent and do the work. So that's number one. Number 2 is to focus on your form. So it's a really long day. And the more that you can focus on your form and nailing those little pieces, you will learn to actually be more efficient. And being fast and being strong and preventing injury comes from efficiency. And this is in all pieces. Now, you have 3 different aspects to an Ironman triathlon. You've got the swim, bike, and the run. And all 3 are very technique oriented. And so we really want to focus on our form during these. And so that's one of those where the more that you can actually focus on it, one, you can use that for helping yourself to stay present with what you're doing. And that keeps you more in tune with your body and being able to kind of see how it is that your body's reacting to things. But it also will help you to make it easier because you won't be fighting what your body naturally wants to do. So focusing on your form, doing those drills, staying present with how your form is, checking in on it, really can help you to be faster, as well as prevent yourself from getting injured, which is really key because, again, remember, this is a really long journey, and so we want to make sure we stay injury free. Number 3 is to prepare mentally for the toughness of the long course triathlon, whether it's a 70.3 or 140.6. The day is long. It is very long. You're usually up at 3 in the morning, and depending on who you are, you may not get done till midnight. There are going to be dark moments, and so you have to prepare for that. And so I like to have my athletes do visualization drills where they're really practicing visualizing things going right, things going wrong, how they'll react, how they're going to feel during that time frame, and then working on really understanding what triggers them to move through that dark moment. What is it, whether it's a mantra, coming back to remembering your why or your goal, and the little pieces that come along with that can really help you to prepare for the mental side of things. And so that is something that's really important to focus on. And I like to say, taking even 5 to 10 minutes once a week can really make a huge difference. The more you can visualize and the more you can put yourself into the situation from all aspects. The key is to really think about it from like all aspects of your senses. What can you see? What can you touch? What can you hear? What can you taste? What can what can you feel? And then how do each of those pieces, how do you think you'll react to them? If you react this way, what does it mean that you'll do? If you react the different way, what will that mean? And so really focusing on what it is that the day is going to bring you and what you think it might bring you, and preparing for all aspects of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We don't always want to just prepare for what's going to go wrong. We also want to prepare for what's going to go right, because that can be a triggering point as well. So make sure you prepare mentally for the toughness of it, because it is going to be hard. No Ironman is easy, no matter who you are. Number 4 is to do strength training and to incorporate this into your training plan. This is one of the areas that many people lack in. And when you lack in it, you're basically missing out on a huge piece of your muscular system. And so the more that you can strength train and just all around, strength, improve your strength, the more you're going to be prepared for the hardness of a long course triathlon. Your body is going to be put through something really tough, and strength training can help us to get through that easier. It also will help us to be more efficient, because we're going to be able to hold our form better, be able to hang in there. When we have a really weak system, that's when we often see ourselves walking in the marathon of an Ironman, because our core has collapsed and then our stabilizer muscles can't hang on and everything just kind of gives out. Strength training is the only way that you can help to supplement that. So trying to get, even just 2 days of strength training, 20 to 30 minutes at a time can really make a huge difference. Focusing on those stabilizer muscles like your abductors, your adductors, your glute medius, to name a few, really kind of in and around that core, your rectus abdominis, your transverse abdominis, those low end hard stabilizing muscles that keep everything a lot stronger. Number 5, and this is a really important one, practice and nail your nutrition. Good nutrition ensures proper energy for training and recovery. And this is both intra, pre, and post training, and as well as just daily. It takes a lot of energy to train and race a full distance triathlon. You have to fuel for it. So you have to create a plan for yourself. And that means you have to practice it. You cannot go into a race without having practiced your nutrition. So that means in your training, you need to do this. It's no different than trying to practice swim, bike, and run. You have to practice your nutrition. Your body has to get used to taking in calories at a high intensity, at a high effort, at a long effort, over a duration of time. And you need to figure out what works for you as well. Everybody's nutrition plan is so different that you have to kind of figure out, okay, what it is that's going to work for you. Practice your fueling. That whole concept of nothing new on race day really has a lot to do with your nutrition, because if you do not nail your nutrition, let me tell you, it could be a bad thing. So really practice it. Make sure you come up with a good plan. This is where a coach can be helpful as well, because they can help you walk through it. So practice your nutrition. It'll pay off in the long run. And the last one I really want to mention, and it's really important, and there are so many other pieces to this, and I could go on and on for days and days about what will help you to make a better Ironman, but these are some of the ones that I found to be the most beneficial. And this last one I think is really important. Celebrate the journey and have some fun with it. And this includes staying present in what you're doing. Oftentimes we get so wrapped up in what we think we need to be doing, or what other people are doing, or what we imagine we should be doing, that we lose sight of why we're doing this. And no matter who you are, I don't care if you're professional or the last finisher, at the end of the day, the main reason we get out there and do this is not to stare at data. It's not to see how high our TSS can get. But we got into this because we needed a journey. We needed something. We needed to have some fun. We wanted to push ourselves. And we have to remember that. And we have to get back to celebrating that. And that's one of the most important things. The more fun you can have out there, the more relaxed you're going to be, and the more you're just going to let yourself flow. My best races have come from when I've just gone out there and had some fun. And I put aside all pressure on myself. And I went out there and said, I'm going out there. I'm going to give it everything I've got to go out and have some fun and enjoy the fact that I'm out there doing something that I absolutely love to do. And that is the key. If you can remember and remind yourself to celebrate the journey, to have fun with it, you will be more relaxed, and I promise it'll be a lot easier. So those are my 6 tips to helping to improve, whether it's your first Ironman, your millionth Ironman, or just racing in general. I hope you find them helpful, and we'll chat again soon.